Greetings, everybody. How are you today? I hope everything is okay. I hope everybody is happy. Can you hear me okay? Please let me know how the audio is. Is it loud and clear? If you have any question today, please let me know now. Please send in your question one at a time and be brief and precise. If I didn't read your question or comment, it means it has been moved out of my screen, so you might have to resubmit your question in again. So let's begin with our first comment from Deepa So. Deepa So, Sadhu Sadhu. Nabiti Namaskaran Ajahn from Medan, Indonesia. Thank you. Check link 10. Greetings. Dear Ajahn, you are clear. Thank you. Ryan Honda, sound clear, all clear. Thank you. Good Lo, Sadhu Sadhu. Eli Hassan, good afternoon. And my respect to Ajahn, sound clear. Grace Huang, good afternoon Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Patsy Chung, Sadhu Sadhu. Kenneth Hunt, good morning Ajahn, you are clear. The clocks here went back last night, so we have 25 hours to practice today. That's very nice. So make use of your time, because time is precious, especially to those who want to practice and become enlightened. You need to have the time to do it. So don't waste it on something useless. Spend it on something precious, like practicing the Dhamma teaching of the Buddha. Richard Lu, good afternoon, Long Po. Your voice is clear and all is well here. Thank you. Chu Jin, good afternoon and my respect to Ajahn. I'm from Malaysia. Thank you. Chiu Chang Ajahn. If my father previously bought fishing boats and hired workers to catch fish, is it considered breaking precepts even he is not directly catching the fish? He is the one who ordered them to do it, so it's still considered breaking the precept. You do it yourself or have somebody else to do it for you, under your command. If you order them, if you tell them to do it for you, then you are also breaking the precept of killing. David Silananda, Sadhu Sadhu. Smiley Lane, Sadhu Sadhu. Saying good day, Prajan and everyone. May all be well and happy. Thank you. YOSC, Sadhu Sadhu, Ajahn. Karina Kaur, good afternoon Ajahn, Sadhu Sadhu. Adeline Chin, good afternoon Ajahn, happy to listening in today. Hope Ajahn is well. Thank you, I'm well. Okay. Really, what is the significance of giving offering to Buddha statue? Like offering flowers, water, and incense or fruits. It's just showing your appreciation of the tremendous Dhamma that the Buddha has given to us. Actually, it's one of the two types of honor. This one is called honor the Buddha with offerings, like flowers and incense. But the real giving honor to the Buddha, according to the Buddha, is to practice his teaching. We call Patibat, Bhucha. The offering of flowers, water, and etc. is called Amisa Bhucha. But the Buddha said, if you want to honor me, practice, follow my instruction. This is called Patibat Bhucha or practice Bhucha, honor by practicing his teaching. Nielsen Saul, Satu Satu from entrance of Amazon, Brazil. Thank you. Really, monks sometimes give blessing with water. What is the significance of giving blessing with water? Nothing. It's just a Hindu tradition. And somehow it has been introduced into Buddhism. There's no significance as far as Buddhism is concerned. I think it's Hindu practice to give blessing by showering people with water, sprinkle people with water. It is not Buddhist practice, so don't worry about it. From China, Chinese character. Good afternoon, Ajahn. How do we know if we have attained Sotapanna first stage? You know when you do. Basically, you would have no doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and you will not be attached to any rites or rituals, and you will keep the precept for the rest of your life, and you will not be afraid of aging, sickness, or death. This is the quality of being a Sotapanna. Sawante, Satu, Satu, Satu. Falling soon. What is the difference between merit and karma? Merit is the consequence of good karma. We call merit. And bad karma we call vipaka. Consequence of bad karma is called vipaka. Consequence of good karma is called punya, which means merit. So consequence of bad karma can be called demerit. Instead of being meritorious to you, it is dangerous to you, the consequence of your bad karma. Te ting luan. How to overcome the hindrance of laziness, drowsiness. Get up and walk, eat and do some fasting. Don't eat too much. Have moderation in eating or fasting will help prevent your drowsiness. If you cannot fast, then you might have to practice in the cemetery. Go to some place where it is scary for you. Then you will not fall asleep. And also, what are your opinion on taking naps in the afternoon? Does it count as feeding the hindrance? It depends on how much sleep you already had. If you have plenty of sleep and your body doesn't need that extra nap, then you're feeding the hindrance. But if you didn't have enough sleep and you really need to go to sleep, taking a nap in the afternoon, then it is for the body, not for the hindrance. Asing Rajan, Katina is around the corner. For the benefit of everyone, would you kindly explain the origin of Katina and how is it celebrated in modern days? Thank you, Venerable Soul. It's a long story, but I can give you a brief summary. Katina are cloth, white cloth for the purpose of making robes for the monks. See, in the days before Katina, monks go to collect cloth in the cemetery. These are cloth that wraps around corpses. During the time of the Buddha, the early days of the Buddha, this dispensation, monks don't have anybody to offer them robes, so they have to go collect cloth that wraps around corpse to use to make rope with. We call this Bamsakula Jivalam, cloth that is collected from the cemetery. And as the teaching of the Buddha spread far and wide, there were more people interested in becoming monks. So the material, the cloth to make robe for the monks that they collect from the cemetery becomes scarce, not enough. Monks don't have enough robes to wear because sometimes the robes they wear can get soaked with rain and they have nothing to replace it. So they have to wear a soaken robe. When the Buddha saw the problem with robe, so the Buddha tell the lay people that from now on they should give material, cloth, for the monks to make robe called katina. And that's how the katina comes around. It's just the offering of white material, white cloth. So monk can then go and make their own robe and then also dye them into the proper color. And this, the Buddha allowed this giving of cloth, katina cloth, only 1 month, once a year, from the day after Vatsa or the rain residence. 1 month is the time when people are allowed to offer this cloth to the monks. After 1 month, then they can no longer offer cloth for making material anymore, for making cloth, for making robes anymore. They have to wait until next year. In modern times, besides giving cloth in Thailand, people also give money to support the monastery because the monastery has to refurbish, they have to fix up broken things, broken kutis, broken salas, and so forth. So this is once a year dana in which people feel that they have to support the religion by offering money with the robe, with the cloth, with the katina cloth. So it's considered a big celebration, a big dana for Thai Buddhists. It's like Christmas for Thai Buddhists. And Thai Buddhists become Santa Clauses. And they go give money and things to support the temples and monasteries of their choice. Okay, I hope this give you a picture of what katina is about. Ui pu po hua suki hotu Ajahn. Thank you. Okay. We have a question from Julie, Indonesia. When meditating with my eyes closed, I can be calm and peaceful and able to see the rise and fall of feelings, whether it's a painful or good feelings. But when I was doing chores of reading, the phenomena of the body felt very strong, and it made me feel uncomfortable and difficult to calm down. What is Ajahn instruction or tips to handle this problem? Well, you should not watch your feeling as your meditation object. Instead, you should focus on your movement of your body. If you're moving around, just watch what you are doing. And if you're sitting, just watch the breath. Don't use feelings. Feelings are not good meditation object to calm your mind with. So when you meditate, if you want to use feeling as your object is okay. But I think you should use the breath when you're sitting, meditating. And when you're moving around, you should focus on your body activity. Get Genso greeting from Penang, Ajahn. I have to go a little bit quicker because or else your question might be gone very quickly. Leo Chai Hawk Satu, Smiley Lane Satu, Tơi Ban Chang Satu, Nielsen Soul, dear Tanajan, what is the middle way? Please accept my obeisances. Satu Satu. The middle way is the way of moderation, not the extreme way. The way of the Buddha, the middle way is the Noble Eightfold Path. Joanne Lim Chui Ian, good afternoon, Ajahn. Thanks for your teaching. Greetings from Malaysia. Chan Linda Satu, Imbun Chu Satu, Pauline Soon. In Buddhism, do learning about the Holy Spirit? Well, the Holy Spirit is the mind. In Buddhism, the mind is the Holy Spirit. Xiao Chang, I can see a notice from Ajahn Facebook Thailand is opening to foreigners gradually. Hopefully we can go to Thailand next year without any quarantine. I think you can come now. I think Malaysia is also a country that is being allowed to enter into Thailand, but you have to come by air, I think. But eventually, I think we hope to open the country freely for everyone to enter. As soon as we get enough people vaccinated and the rate of infection manageable, I think then the country will not be locked down anymore. Joe Wu, Ajahn, 1 year older, Bhikkha Vasa, Satu Satu. You're welcome. Chi Tik Seng, Satu. Kwan Li Man, dear Ajahn, with respect, can the Sotapanna, Sakadagami, and Anagami attain liberation on self-practice, or do they still need a teacher to guide them? They can do it on their own, but if they have a teacher, they will be able to do it quicker, easier, because sometimes they can still be stuck with some hindrances, some what you call samyojana, which is called, I can't remember the English translation of samyojana, fetters. With a teacher guiding them, it will be easier, but not necessarily. They can practice on their own and get to Nibbana eventually. As soon as you become a Sotapanna, you don't need a teacher anymore, because you have the roadmap in your mind already as to what you have to do. But you have to sometimes clarify the roadmap on your own. So it can be a little bit confusing sometimes, but not impossible. Lao CH, Satu Satu. Chuboy Lo, Satu Satu. Sally Stino, Satu. I am Caesar from North Italy, 57 years old, Dhamma follower. Being no more attached to my present self, consciousness, and having tamed the mind, how can I practice the fourth absorption on Ubekha, or what is it needed to achieve? You need mindfulness. You have to be constantly mindful when you're not meditating. And when you meditate, you have to be mindful of your breath. Stop thinking. The goal is to stop thinking with mindfulness, to still the mind to become fully absorbed in the fourth jhana. And then you will get Ubekha from there. Mac Kim Seng, Satu Satu from Kedah, Malaysia. Te Ting Loon, Satu Bante, and one more question. I practice samatha meditation, but sometimes in my daily life, I have no time to sit longer to attain samadhi. Is there anything I can do when I have less time for practice? You can practice mindfulness. Keep practicing mindfulness of body, of a mantra, like reciting Bhutto Bhutto all the time. Keep watching what your body is doing and stop thinking about other things. Asana, good morning, Venerable Ajahn. Hui Po Hoa, Sadhu, Sadhu. Joe, Katina robe is very powerful to obstruct hindrance that bring one to animals world and hell. Those who offer the main Katina robe will not go to hell after this life. All past life bad karma have to keep distance for the moment and hit this life. All past life very evil karma cannot catch up with you. Main Katina robe is unshakable and powerful, explained by the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu. Bilim, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for your Dhamma. Charmaine, Metta, Namo Buddhaya, and Sukhihotu Ajahn. Thank you for Ajahn continuous insightful teaching. You are welcome. Sunny Lim, good day Ajahn. Humble appreciation to you for Dhamma that you are willing to share with us. Sadhu, sadhu. Mandy Smith, sadhu, sadhu. Richard Liu, hi Long Paul. My neck is hurting when I perform sitting meditation in the evening. I have no choice but just to lean my body behind the wall. Should I endure the pains without leaning to the wall? I can concentrate better when the pain is not that severe. Many thanks. Well, in the meantime, if this is what you have to do, then do it. But if it's possible, you should go see a doctor and take care of the neck pain. Then you can then not have to sit and lean. Because when you lean your back on something, it's too comfortable and it will make you less mindful and more easy to fall asleep. So you don't want to lean back on anything. You want to have a straight back. Nielsen Saul, Tanajan. With all my respect, I ask, does monastic life use the middle way? Definitely. All monastic life traveler use the middle way as the path to enlightenment. Because certain rules seem extreme to me, for example, eating only once a day. It is extreme, it's because you're used to the other extreme of eating too much. So you have to eat a little bit less, you feel extreme. But actually, it's not extreme, eating only once a day. It's called Dhamma practice or austere practice. But you don't have to eat once a day if you cannot. You can eat twice a day, but not after midday. But it will slow you down. If you want to go faster, then you eat once a day. Thank you so much, Ajahn. Joe Wu, agree, a Sotapanna, if God teacher of Arahant will be very helpful. But if there is none, a Sotapanna can progress by himself. Buddhang Saranam Gacchami. Kim Lee, good morning, Tanajan. My gratitude and appreciation to your teaching. Could you please kindly cheer up the meditators by giving some example of your lay followers who stay at home but make great progression in vipassana meditation practice until he now reaches the stage of the noble one by staying at home or any secluded place that is not a meditation center or monastery. Because of my life condition, sick parents, my illness, financial expenses, about health issue, it's not possible for me to stay at the meditation center. I feel very discouraged. Thank you very much, Tanajan. Well, you can become enlightened anywhere. It's not the place, really. It's your ability to be mindful and to take control of your mind. If you can control your mind, control your defilement, then you can become enlightened anywhere. Sadhu, sadhu, Sean. Thank you for your Dhamma. B. Lim, sorry, spelling error. Should be Ajahn, not Sean. You're welcome. Christine Zhu, sadhu, sadhu. Karuna, Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn. Adi Aha, sadhu. Kim Lee, thank you for your time and teaching. Could you please kindly explain a logical reason why Katina is very meritorious than other material dana. They're not. The word meritorious is misleading. Instead, they should be translated as useful, because during the time before Katina, monks don't have enough material to make rope with. So when you offer katina, which are cloth. They are they are very useful for the monk during that time, because they are lacking cloth to make, but making their robe. So I think the translation of the word is is misleading. Instead of meritorious, katina should be translated as very useful, more useful than normally, more useful than other stuff, because other stuff the monks have enough of, like food, place to stay, medicine. What they really need during that time was material to make rope with. So katina should be translated as very useful than other material dana. I hope this clarifies your question. One Vimon, Satu Ajahn. Okay. Chinese character, Ajahn, I am a Singaporean. Had the intention to come over Chiang Mai to stay and learn from various teachers. Hope I pray that can be a reality to me. Hope Ajahn can bless that it can become a reality to me. Wherever there is a will, there is a way. This is my blessing. Keep up your will, and then you'll get what you want. Falling soon. Any way to learn regard the mind to avoid suffering. Starting with mindfulness. Keep focusing your mind on the present. Don't let your mind go think about the past or the future, and stop thinking. When you can fully stop thinking, then you will discover your mind. Te Ting Lun. Occasionally my mind have a lot of doubts, and it keeps on flowing, making me anxious, depressed. How do I deal with this useless thoughts? Stop them by reciting a mantra, or do some chanting until you stop your thoughts. Recite the mantra Bhutto, 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 or keep chanting some verses. Don't stop until your bad thoughts stop, and you feel light and happy. James Ong Satu, One Chai Chandaho Satu. Okay. See, if you ask me to explain something very long, the comments can be moved out of the screen, so I cannot explain something very long. So you have to ask me something with brief answer better. If you want me to explain something very long, it can cause the question of other people to disappear from my screens. So I hope you understand if I don't give long answers. I try to keep it short, so but precise, and get to the point. Okay, let me take a brief break, taking a sip of water. Maybe I should do a little commercial. This is the drink, the water. Maybe they'll give me some support for doing a commercial for the manufacturer. Okay. Celestino, can dana for monks as robes, medicine, food, and shelter be classified as more or less useful for the monk and the giver, or are they equally important? Yes, they're useful for both. The, the monk who receives them can use for the benefit of the body, and the giver is useful for the giver because it it helps decrease their defilement of greed and selfishness, and their obsession or attachment to material things. So this is useful for both giver and receiver. Doesn't have to be monk, anybody who needs help and you give them help, you are make you make yourself useful for yourself and for the receiver. Ryan Honda, Ajahn, do we need to learn or understand more sutta or keep practicing sati to get into sotapanna? All you need is to practice sati, and when you get the fourth jhana, then you learn about the three characteristics of existence on the five khandhas. This is all you need to know, really, as far as becoming a sotapanna is concerned. Kenneth Hunt, dear Tanajan, how does one become a good thinker? By think rationally, don't think emotionally. Think using common sense, or think according to the teaching of the Buddha. Think about avoiding doing bad karma, thinking about doing good karma, and thinking about purifying your mind. Get rid of your defilement of greed, hate, and delusion. This is good thinker, to think this way. Every time you see something, just think that they are impermanent, anicca. They are anatta, they are all natural phenomena. No self in anything. This is the way to become a good thinker. Kenneth Tan Lee Tan Kibok, greeting Ajahn, may you be well and happy. Thank you. Question from Seth from the Philippines. I have leg lai. What are the chants needed or food for the leg lai to make it more powerful? I don't know. To me, leg lai is just a material. It has nothing to do with your progress toward enlightenment. So it's better just to throw them away and start practicing mindfulness, because they don't help you to get to nibbana or help you to get rid of your suffering. But mindfulness do help you. So practice mindfulness and forget about leg lai. I don't know. I never seen them myself. I only heard of them, and I didn't pay any attention to them. Pauline Soon, what is the meaning of wisdom? Wisdom is to understand the Four Noble Truths. To understand the three characteristics of existence is called wisdom. Does it help us to achieve right path? Yes, they will make you become enlightened once you understand the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence. Walai Porn, กราบสาธุค่ะ Anil Chakma Chiso. How do we overcome our sorrow and misery? By accepting the truth that everything is impermanent. You will sooner or later lose your loved ones or be separated from the things and people that you love. If you can accept the truth, then you will not have any misery or sorrow. In the meantime, you can stop it by reciting the mantra Bhutto Bhutto. Do it for many hours. Do it until your sorrow and misery disappear. Keep reciting or chanting. Water is healthy liquid and it will not attach. Pauling soon. Okay. What is the meaning of three characteristics? the nature of everything. Everything is one, anicca, meaning changing all the time or not permanent. Two, can make you sad, which is dukkha. And three, anatta, doesn't belong to anybody. Everything belongs to nature. No one can process things permanently. Sooner or later, everyone will have to lose them. Ryan Honda, Sadhu, Sadhu. May you be well and healthy. Thank you for your guidance. You're welcome. Tony Yip, Sadhu. Ong Eng, Sadhu. Enu Chakma Chiso, Sadhu. Burke McLean. Does the mind cease upon Nibbana or Parinibbana? No. Nibbana means the purification of the mind, not the destruction of the mind. We purify the mind from greed, hatred, and delusion with the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path. Once the mind becomes purified and has no defilement, we call this Nibbana. So Nibbana is the clean mind as compared to dirty mind like us. Right now we have dirty mind. We have greed, hatred, and delusion. But once you get rid of this dirtiness in your mind, get rid of this defilement of greed, hatred, and delusion, then your mind becomes pure. It doesn't disappear. You cannot destroy the mind. The mind is indestructible. So don't be afraid of Nibbana. People don't understand. When the Buddha said Nibbana is the supreme void, it means void of the defilement, void of all impurities. That's what he meant by supreme void or supreme emptiness. Chai Heng Sadhu, Pauline Soon. Does Jesus' teaching seem like Buddha teaching? I don't know. You have to compare yourself. Jesus is Jesus. Buddha is Buddha. And I think some of the teaching are the same, like teaching of charity and teaching of not harming other people. But as far as the practice of meditation, I don't know if they are the same or not. If you want to study the teaching of the Buddha, you have to know the teaching of the Buddha and Jesus. You have to read their teaching. You have to study the teaching to find out if they are the same or not. I'm not an expert on this, so I cannot tell you, cannot give you the answer. Celestino. Celestino, how do you compare Udaya Sutta about the 5 topics of recollection for developing the higher mind with Satipatthana Sutta? I don't think I can answer your question here because I don't know about the sutta. I'm sorry. Panyawati Sayale, dear Tanajan, respectful greetings. Is higher and real ordination as Samanera or Bhikkhu a sign of great faith in the Buddha and is one who isn't fully ordained, not a daughter or son of the Buddha, and not a member of the Sangha? I got told, so that's why I asked. with Metta from Germany. 2022, hopefully to be able to come back to Thailand again in order to find a monastery. No, whether you ordain or not ordained doesn't mean that you have great faith in the Buddha. You can have great faith being a lay person. You can have great faith being an ordained person. It just means whether you are able to become ordained or not. That's all. That it doesn't measure your faith to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So don't worry. You can have great faith in the Buddha as a lay person, and you can also have great faith in the Buddha as an ordained, as a monk or as a nun. So this is not the thing to measure your faith. The faith is measured by the amount of input you give to the practice of the teaching of the Buddha. That is the one that determines your faith. How much you practice, how much you study. Anil Chakma Chiso. Is there any difference between salvation and Nibbana? Well, Nibbana is the salvation of the mind from suffering. The mind, once get to Nibbana, the mind will have no more suffering. Sami Riyachi, dear Ajahn, sometimes there is so much clarity in the mind. I can understand all Dhammas with ease, but sometimes there is like a big gray cloud and obstruct me from understanding even the most simple Dhamma. What is the cause of that? Clarity comes from the inactivity of thoughts. If your mind becomes still, then the mind becomes clear. If your mind starts to think, then your mind can be clouded by your delusion. So when you feel that your mind is clouded, you should stop thinking, meditate, clear your mind. Then when your mind stops thinking, all the cloudiness of the mind will disappear, and your mind will become clear and easily understand things. This is the nature of a person who hasn't yet tamed his mind. So the mind can go from cloudy to clear, dependent on the thoughts and emotion created by the mind itself. So if you can stop the mind from creating thoughts and emotion, then your mind will become clear. And in order to do this, you need mindfulness, like a mantra. Ryan Honda, 3 characteristics are anicca, dukkha, anatta. That's right. Pauline soon. What is 3 aggregates? I don't know. There are 5 aggregates. Body, feeling, perception, thinking, and consciousness. These are the 5 aggregates that we all possess. Every human being and animals possess these 5 aggregates. Here's a response to the question about the teaching of Jesus and Buddha. Sami Riyachi, Jesus teaches he is the Son of God. Buddha teaches there is no God. Okay. Anandati, Satu, Satu. What is 3 aggregates? Pauline soon, 5 aggregates. I just answered your question. Lucent souls, dear Ajahn, is there something eternal? Yes, the 6 elements. The element, the 6 great elements: earth, water, fire, wind, space, and the mind. They are the eternal element. They are not destructible, but they are in constant state of forming with themselves to become people, animals, trees, and mountains, and planets, and so forth. Te Sing Hin, Ajahn, good afternoon. May I know whether animals still create merit and karma? in their lives, such as what we have as humans. They can, but rarely animals are more out there to look after themselves, so they don't worry about helping other people, except for some noble animals like the monkey and the elephant who look after the Buddha when the Buddha was living alone. But usually, for most animals, they don't look after other people. They only look after themselves. That's why they are called animals. But if you look for other people, you care for other people, then you are you are making merit. Any lam, sadhu, sadhu. Here's another question about Jesus and Buddha's teaching, falling soon. By many teaching, Jesus is all good and wisdom, life loving. Okay, sadhu, sadhu from Paul Ian. Paul, I'm sorry if I don't pronounce your name correctly. Pat Bum Patarapon, sadhu, sadhu. Burke McLean, how can the mind be indestructible when it is dependently arising? What is dependently arising is not the mind, but the conditions of the mind. But the mind itself is permanent. What is changing is the condition inside the mind, such as thoughts, feelings, perceptions, emotions. These are all constantly dependently arising. But the mind itself is forever. Celestino, Udaya Sutta for your reference, Venerable. Thank you. Pauling soon. How to measure a person, no more attachment with greed, illusion, aversion. You first have to measure yourself first, before you can measure other people. You have to find out whether you are still greedy or not, whether you're still hateful or not, whether you are still delusional or not. Once you can measure yourself, then you will be able to measure other people. Asking Prajan, when a negative emotion thought has taken over, how can I regain the balance of mind? By reciting the mantra Bhutto, 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 until the mind become balanced again, become calm again. Okay, I have to skip this part about Jesus and so forth. So Tan Ajahn teaching always remind me to reflect the impermanent and death at any time. Thank you very much. You're welcome. You reflect to remind you of the true nature of life. Falling soon, meaning liberation. Look up in the dictionary. Celestino Sadhu. Susiko Kiki. Namaskar Ajahn. Namo Buddhaya. Happy Sunday. Thank you. Ryan Honda, Ajahn, what if a bit difficult of breathing while meditating? Please advise. Thank you. If you find it difficult to breathe, then you can switch your object or meditation object to a mantra instead, or do some chanting instead. Recite Bhutto Bhutto and forget about the breath. Leave the breath alone, leave the breathing alone, and just focus on your mantra Bhutto Bhutto Bhutto, or keep reciting or chanting. Okay, we still have about 10 more minutes left before our 1 hour meeting is over. So you can still send in your question if you have any. I'll be here for another 10 minutes or so. Ryan Honda, Ajahn, Okay, I've answered this question, sorry. Saying Prajan, how to overcome lack of self-confidence. Is you have to get rid of self, then there is no need to have self-confidence. Because self is a delusion. And the way to get rid of self is to stop thinking about yourself, think about other people instead. Thinking about everything as being natural phenomena. No self in anything. No self in yourself. No self in your mind. Your mind is not a self. Your mind is a knower. So bring your mind back to the knower by keep reciting a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto. And then when your mind stops thinking, then your self will disappear. And then you don't need to have self-confidence. Self is delusion, as well as self-confidence. So when there's no self, then there is no self-confidence. Just return back to your original state, which is being a knower. Just be a knower. Don't be a self. A knower means a knower doesn't react to anything. A knower merely knows. Ali Hassan, thank you Ajahn for teaching today. We'll keep on practicing the Buddha Dhamma on daily life. For the meantime, may all be happy and stay safe. All Galaya Namita. See you all again on next online Dhamma session by Ajahn. Sadhu, sadhu. Panya Wati Sayale. Ajahn is their collective karma, like people commit wholesome or unwholesome deeds intentionally in the past and accept the result of that deed as a group in the future. Thank you. Now the Buddha said it's all individual karma, which might happen to be doing it at the same time when you call it a group karma. But it's each individual karma. And each individual person will reap the consequence of their own karma. Someone from Singapore, Chinese character. Ajahn, is it good to always feel remorse and recollection of what self done wrong? No, you don't need to feel remorse or recollect of what you did wrong. Unless you want to improve yourself, then you can look at your mistakes and try to teach yourself not to repeat it again. But you don't need to be remorse. But you have to be careful not to repeat it again, not to do it again, that's all. All being soon, can any being able to communicate to Buddha? Normally, no. Once the Buddha has passed away, he doesn't communicate with anybody, generally speaking. But there might be some exception. He might still be communicating with somebody. I don't know. But it's not impossible. Celestino, I discovered the power of always evaluating the intention when any thought comes into the mind, to keep staying with it all the time while thinking and doing things. Can you tell your thoughts on this, please, Venerable? Well, all you need to do is to know whether you have good thoughts or bad thoughts. If they are bad thoughts, then you should stop. If they are good thoughts, you can continue thinking of. And what is bad thought? Bad thought leads to bad karma, bad action, hurting other people, for instance, or hurting yourself. This is considered bad karma. Good karma is doing something for other people, making other people happy. These are called good thoughts. Te Seng Hin, Ajahn, thank you for your answer and guidance. Please take good care of yourself. You're welcome. Seng Prajan, thank you. Anatta, I am grateful, Venerable Sir. Burke McLean, how does one practice equanimity? Fourth Brahma Vihara. What are some practical advices? You need to enter into the fourth jhana to get real equanimity. Fourth jhana to get into the real equanimity. Before that, you can use mindfulness to stop your mind from reacting. When you want to react emotionally, stop it by using the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Pauline soon to make inspiration very valuable. I don't know what you mean. Kim Chua, Satu Satu, Ajahn. Chai Heng, Ajahn advised to chant mentally Bhutto Bhutto when I find difficulty in falling asleep. But it does not really work. Is it because I was not mindful enough? That's right. If you just keep concentrating on the Bhutto and not thinking, you will eventually fall asleep. If you find you cannot use Bhutto, then you can use watching your breath instead. Just keep watching your breath coming in and going out at the tip of your nose. And try not to think about anything. Then you can fall asleep quite quickly. What prevents you from falling asleep is your thought. If you keep thinking, you will not be able to fall asleep. So be mindful with your breath, or be mindful with the mantra. Not allow your mind to go thinking about anything. Then you can fall asleep very easily and quickly. Well, we have about 2.5 more minutes left. If anybody wants to ask any question, if you can send them in now, I will wait for your question. I sing, may all beings be well and happy. May Gawati long, Sadhu, Sadhu. Nielsen Song, Sanajan. I would like to thank you for the spiritual nickname you gave me, Sadhu, Santi, and ask you to be very careful with your health. Please accept my most respectful obeisances. Thank you. Chinese character, thank you, Ajahn. You're welcome. Okay, 1.5 minutes left. Dear Ajahn, from Jason Liu. Dear Ajahn, what Buddhist view on burning hand written mantra to deceased people? It means nothing. It's just a ritual. If you want to help those who departed, you do it by sharing your merit that you get from charity, from doing charity work. Any lam satu satu. Shirley Stino, thank you for sharing with Metta your precious time, Venerable Satu. You're welcome. Sunny Lim, thanks so much, Ajahn. Feel so blessed. Kwang Meng Su, Satu, Satu. Okay, that's about all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for your participation in this meeting. I hope that you can benefit from it and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, Stay safe, stay mindful, and keep practicing the teaching of the Buddha. And one day you will reach your destination of peace and happiness permanently. Thank you and goodbye.